Thanks for tuning in to EVGA on the Tube. My name is Jacob Freeman, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the EVGA 790i SLI FTW motherboard.
The EVGA 790i SLI FTW motherboard includes quite a few interesting features. For example, power and reset buttons are located right on the motherboard, and actually the reset button has an LED indicator which shows hard drive activity. It has a total of 9 SATA ports, an onboard clear CMOS button, so if you ever need to clear your CMOS, it's very easy to do so. It has 100% solid state capacitors, and of course an onboard LED indicator. Also, the EVGA 790i SLI FTW motherboard includes an 8-phase power design for the highest level of stability possible, as well as an innovative chipset fan, which is a sideways exhaust and keeps hot air away from the graphics card. In the system BIOS, you'll see many different options. Today we're going to focus on the frequency and voltage controls on the right hand side of the screen. One of the new features in the FTW edition motherboard is the WOC option. You can see right here. If you select this, it gives a real easy way to overclock the system. You can set a percentage-based overclock level. So for example, if I set a 15%, my system will automatically overclock 15%. However, for those of you who want to fine-tune your system, you can head on over to the FSB and memory config option. In here you'll see an option called FSB/memory clock mode. Here you can set your FSB/memory mode to linked, unlinked, or auto. Unlinked giving me the highest level of flexibility possible. As you can see, I can set my FSB and my memory clocks independently of each other, and the system will automatically select the closest memory divider. Or you can run a more traditional based linked mode with basically you set your FSB and you select a CPU to memory ratio, or you can run it linked and synced, which I will do for this demonstration. I am using my E8600. I'm going to run it linked and synced at 1600 MHz FSB, so that gives me 1600 MHz FSB and 1600 MHz memory clock. As you can see, my CPU clock is now 4 GHz, so I took it from 3.33 and went to 4 GHz. Sometimes when overclocking, you'll need to increase your system voltages. So if you head down to the system voltages section, you'll see here a number of different features. For example, you have CPU core, memory, FSB, voltage settings. For our demonstration, we're going to show you the new FTW feature called EVGA V-Droop Control. With this, you have a standard on, you have an off. So the first thing we're going to show you is what your system looks like with V-Droop, basically how other motherboards are, or how the standard 790i would function under 1.25 CPU core voltage. So now we're in Windows running a CPU stress test. You can see my CPU voltage has dropped from 1.25 to 1.20 volts, and this is how a traditional motherboard would react under these circumstances. Let's try this again with the V-Droop off. Now let's try that without V-Droop. Again, this is a new feature of the 790i SLI FTW motherboard. So now we're back in Windows running the same CPU stress test under the same conditions. Only thing changed is this time we enabled the EVGA exclusive feature to disable the V-Droop. And as you can see, my voltage is pretty consistent. It went from 1.25 set in BIOS to about 1.252. So this allows me to achieve the highest level of stability possible when overclocking and pushing a high level of voltage.
Thanks for watching this EVGA on the Tube presentation. As demonstrated here, the EVGA 790i FTW motherboard certainly is designed for the win. For more information on this motherboard, please visit our website www.evga.com, or for more overclocking tips and tricks, visit our community, www.evga.com/forums. Thanks again.